alone. No, I'll never walk alone. While I walk with Here we are on Monday after the great Sunday extravaganza, and I have to own up to a huge mistake. I forgot, Dec Clusky forgot to press record for Sounds of Sunday on the 2nd of October. Oh, what a mistake. But you didn't miss much. I got in with a record just after Charmaine, so you won't notice the difference. But what did I miss? I just told everybody about the show, what was going to happen. I was going to say that we usually start with what I got up to last month, which was September. So little video about that, and then we got on to Charmaine, our first record ever, which started the whole thing, and then the old video diaries, which people seem to like an awful lot. And this is going back to February in 2018. Lots of good stuff I've gone. And then, oh, I've got a cough. I swallowed the wrong way, actually, very badly. I thought I was going to die a few minutes ago. I couldn't breathe at all. Oh, I didn't know what to do, but I'm okay now. Then, who were my best pop pals in the 60s? Very interesting question, that. In the streets of London, much requested bit of scenic stuff of London, which I did, and that's very pleasant. Then the birthdays, Con's song, If Ever I Would Leave You, surprisingly Con's favourite song, and he loved singing that. And then I say goodbye with a brand new version of The Last Farewell, which was a request of John Leyland. So, let's get back to what we did record. Now, am I going to eat that or not? Am I going to eat that?
Yeah, you better.
Am I going to eat
quick.
that? I bet you better eat it quick. Yeah. All you lot are going. Yeah. Oh look! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Oh look! Oh, this is not fair. They're all eating my banoffee pie.
Yeah.
Well, if
you put that down. Banoffee pie is probably one of my most favourite puddings.
Excuse me, all these people are eating my banoffee pie. Will you stop it? Delightful here. Absolutely gorgeous. And I've examined my aura. Because if you go like that, up to the sky, you can actually see your own aura. The electric, like that sort of thing, yeah? And I can see my own aura, and today is pretty good, so I'm pretty healthy today. I am nuts. Isn't this lovely? I used to walk up here all the time, and now I rarely walk up here, which is a shame.
In fact, the last time was probably with me.
The last time was probably with you.
It probably was.
Yeah, it was. Probably, yeah.
A few months ago.
But this is the easy walk. The hard walk is up the other way, up to the top of the downs over there. And that is a killer walk. It really is. That's the issue here. Well, here I am, Jordan Peterson, at the OVO Arena in Wembley. And they've just changed the ticketing system to all on phones. Look at the queues. It's absolutely thousands and thousands of people just queuing, milling around. Never seen anything like it. They'll have to change the system. It's never like this when there were ordinary tickets. Now everybody's got their tickets on their phones. There's absolute chaos. Well, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. Oliver's here. And Zach's here. Look at the queue. Look at the queues going miles back. Dear, oh dear. This is silly.
You could have taken your mask off.
No. Well, I've seen Jordan Peterson. Look him up on the internet, Jordan Peterson. Not impressed. No. My grandson was really impressed with him. I mean, it was him that got me to go. But now, nothing unusual. It's like a cult he runs. A cult of thinking. Very, very strange. Must say, I wouldn't go again. No, thank you. And I'm going to show you this. Look, sorry. I brought an A4 pad, thinking I was going to write loads and loads of notes for future speeches. I would do, and it didn't say one thing that I wrote down. My blank. Look, it's empty. Absolutely empty. Didn't write a thing. Well, there we are. Very interesting. Nice night out. Would have liked a gin and tonic, but I didn't have one. Okay, driving home now. Bye. That's lovely. So, what did you think of that new ticketing system? Lynn, what did you think of the ticketing system? You now have to show them your phone. And did you see the queues? What do you think, Lynn?
Well, I'm for sort of everything being modern and that, but I don't use that method myself. The only thing I've got is my rail card on my phone.
Yeah,
I
see.
I use through my phone.
So you're halfway there. And Kathy, what do you wear a mask, Kathy?
Sometimes I wear a mask, but very, very seldom.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I may be the exception, I think. I'm running scared all the time. If I go to Tesco or go to Asda or that, oh no, I have to have the mask on. But there we are. Maureen Pledger, the grandmother, the great-grandmother. That's you're like my daughter Louisa, Maureen. You look so young for your age. I'm flattering you now. So young for your age. But Louisa's like that. But listen, do you take notes when you go to see a speaker or a talker, or am I just unusual like that?
Never even thought about doing that.
No, I mean, if you go to say you go to, I tell you where I learnt the trick. I was told about it anyway. But I was in Australia once, and I went to this church, and there was this Franciscan. They're the real firebrand people in the Catholic Church, and he gave this sermon, and it was the sermon of all time. I've never heard anything like it in my life, and I had a notepad with me, a journal, and I wrote it all down. And the famous phrase that came out of that was, "I was the one that got away with the stuff." And I went outside, and there he was. You know the way they shake hands with everybody. And I started to talk to this guy. And it was one of the great experiences of my life. But all because I took notes.
Right.
Yeah. So what do you think of that, Maureen?
I think you're clever, yeah.
Yeah. So do it the next time you go to a church, Christmas time, and you hear a great sermon, take the notes. Okay? That's lovely, Maureen. Thank you very much. Well, we get on now to the first song that we ever sang. And there's so many stories about this song, that we were starving, hungry and all that. And we messed up the complete audition. And then we were lucky enough that Shel Tommy and Mike Stone heard about us through Philip Solomon and got us into the studio again. But they rehearsed us to death, and that taught us a great way of working. Rehearsal. We rehearsed it to death. And then when we went in to record it, it was just like a game of tennis. It really was. But this is the song, and this is our take on it in modern days. So just see what you think of this.
Waiting just for you, Charmaine. I wonder why you keep me ever you think of me too, I am waiting, my Charmaine, for you. I wonder why you keep me waiting, Charmaine. My Charmaine cries in vain. I wonder when bluebirds are mating, will you come back again? And I wonder if I keep on praying, will our dreams be the same? I wonder if ever you think of me too, I am waiting, my Charmaine, for you, just for you. I am waiting, my Charmaine, for you, just for you.
Let me see the applause. I can see the applause. Oh, look at that. I'm even applauding. John Leyland, I'm even applauding. Look at that. Oh, Linda Cooper, you're not applauding. Linda, what are you doing? Put it up, come on. Jazz hands, we call it. Jazz hands. That's lovely. Thank you very much. Con will appreciate that. And I really mean that. A strange thing to say, I don't miss Con at all, because he seems to have a presence around me all the time. I'm not religious. I keep saying that to people. I'm not religious. I don't believe in anything like that. But it's just weird. It's just strange. So John, what's your memories of Diane? Or sorry, Charmaine, yeah.
Well, 60 years ago, you're rehearsing it.
Yeah.
On this day.
Good
because
Lord.
it was recorded on the 12th of October.
Yeah.
Along with 3 other tracks.
Do you want me to tell you the tracks, John?
Can you remember that? I know.
Oh, yeah. Go on. See how good your memory is. Go on.
Old Bill.
That's right.
Jailer, Bring Me Water.
Yeah.
And Our Streets Annual Outing.
Absolutely correct. That is amazing. That is quite amazing. Go on.
And Shell told me he once wrote that you recorded Charmaine in 15 minutes.
We would have done, yeah, because it's true. We used to go around to his flat all the time, and he literally rehearsed us to death, because we knew the song anyway, but he just tidied up the harmonies and that, and he was a joy. I learned a lot from him. I was lucky, John, as I've told you before, and I've told everybody before. I had so many mentors in my life, but I made people my mentors. You know, if something had knowledge that I wanted, I wouldn't leave them alone, and Shell was like that. But go on, John.
Well, that's it really. I mean,
Yeah.
that the last version you just did was amazing.
Yeah.
It's the simplicity of the whole thing made it attractive. I mean, it took a while to get into the charts, a couple of months, but it took a lot longer to go out than it did.
Do you know the story about it getting into the charts? The NMA, New Musical Express. That was the days of what they called payola, where the record companies were paying the radio stations to play the songs and all that sort of thing. It was dreadful what was going on. But it was dreadful, of course it was. But you just had to do it.
Yep.
It's a fact that Brian Epstein went around and bought thousands of Beatles records from shops, literally, to get them into the charts. And what Philip Solomon did was he bought the front page of the New Musical Express. And the deal was, when you bought the front page of the New Music Express, they put you in the NME charts, which was the official charts at the time. You remember that, John? Yeah. They didn't have an official charts, but the NME was the recognized ones. The Record Mirror was the one that gave the sales that went out of the factory door. And that's where the controversy came in. We had a number one with I Believe because of the number coming out the factory door. But according to the NME, we were number 2. And there's always that argument going on. But he did that. And so with the result, they put you in at number 17 in the charts. So that was it. The following week, there we were, number 17 in the charts. And of course, the radio then picked up on it and started to play it. And then it just, as you say, it took a couple of months to take off. And it slipped away and slipped away and slipped away and slipped away and slipped away. And then Philip said, I'll give it one more shot. And he did it again. And he put it in again at number 17. But this time it went 17, 16, 12, and it got up to number 5. And it stayed around number 5 for ages. It was the longest record in the chart that year. It was 19 weeks, and you know that, John. 19 weeks in the chart. But it's hilarious what went on in those days. It was the skullduggery that went on. It was, but I didn't. That's the way it was done. So there's no use arguing about it. John, go on.
Did Philip Solomon take the money he spent on the adverts out of your royalties?
Listen,
sales money.
I won't go into what went. He was a bit of a villain, Philip Solomon. A little bit of a villain. We did have problems with Philip and Cigar's royalties. Yes, he did, because he was sort of borrowing our royalties to finance Radio Caroline, for instance. Although he talked us into buying 1/3 of Radio Caroline, and nobody knew that we, the Bachelors, owned 1/3 of Radio Caroline. No wonder they played us so much. And all the DJs on Radio Caroline, they hated us because they were told, you've got to play the Bachelors record. They hated our records, and they still had to pay them, but there we are. But listen, shall we get on, John, and play another? This is the video diaries, which people seem to like. It's the old days. It's a glimpse of what it was like in February 2018. Here we go. What am I doing waiting for the stage door? This was a lovely idea. All the kids coming out one by one to meet their parents. This is lovely. Lovely idea. Oh, Klasky's coming. There's Isabel Klasky. There she is. There's the star of the show. And the proud parents. Ah. And the tradition is to give them flowers. Isn't that lovely?
Terrible threesome.
Lovely. Lovely. That was wonderful, Isabel. Wonderful.
You've got this on your face.
Wonderful. Now this is one of the two of us. And this is a movie because you've just been a big superstar. Were you an incredible superstar? And what did you like most about the performance?
Singing.
Singing? That was lovely. And the makeup, of course, was excellent. Was the makeup done by Disney? Possibly. Not Disney. I would have thought they'd fly somebody straight over from Hollywood, straight to Aldershot for the Little Mermaid, for the makeup. It's just as good.
A lovely theatre.
It is. It's yeah, it's quite a beautiful theatre.
It's got all the old drapes and everything.
And it's got all the original stuff. Look up there. This is the Hippodrome at Nice one. We've just done a lovely show in the afternoon, haven't we?
I enjoyed it.
You enjoyed it?
Yeah.
I tell you
don't
what,
know.
I enjoyed it too.
I think the audience enjoyed it. Well, they gave us a standing ovation at the end.
Yeah, standing ovation.
So it must have been good.
Yeah.
And we were standing as well.
I know, and here we are at the end of the month again. So see you next month. Come and see a show.
Yeah.
There's quite a few of the fans here today.
There is, yeah. Lynn was here.
Yeah, quite a few.
And Wendy.
And my little granddaughter.
Your little granddaughter.
Layla.
Budding star.
Making a nuisance of herself. I think she's getting too fond of show business. Anyway, see you next month.
See you next month. Bye. Bye for now.
You must remember this. A kiss is still a kiss. A sigh is just a sigh. The fundamental things apply as time goes by.
Those were the days. Those were the days, weren't they? All the shows. Oh my goodness me, the shows. Linda, Lynda. What did you do? Oh, do you miss the shows we did? Yeah. Do you miss the shows?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I tell you what, I missed them. But I was talking to somebody yesterday, Chris Emmett, who did all the headlines and all that. They wanted a photograph of Con to put in a brochure for. There's a Frank Bruno lunch coming up on the 24th of October. I'll be going to it at the Lansdowne Hotel in London. And they're doing a brochure, and they wanted to commemorate the water rats who died this year. And of course, Con, and he wanted a picture of Con, so I gave him a few to choose from. And Con, a strange thing that came out of that, you'd all be interested in this. Con was a desperate man for photographs. It's very hard to find a good photograph of Con. He seemed to have something about photographs. And you've ever he picked a photograph of himself. John's laughing. Whenever he picked a photograph of himself, it was always an ancient picture, right back from the 60s. I say, oh, Con, for goodness sake, you're a good-looking man. You know, be proud of being a good-looking man. I hate all those old pictures, but there we are. But yeah, Chris got me to do that, and I gave him the picture, and that was lovely. But let's get on now, and what's the next thing I've got? Oh yeah, the streets of London. The streets of London. Lynn, what did you think of the streets of London? Because you must remember us doing it years ago. We did it originally on Stars on Sunday. Stars on Sunday. What did you think of us and the streets of London?
I love that song. I love you singing it, and you recorded it so well. And it reminds me of the days when I travelled to London to work for 10 years. You know, you filmed all the places that I used to walk past and go through. Yeah. Yeah, I just really love the song. It suits your voice very well.
Ah, that's good. So listen, Lynn, here it is.
Have you seen the old man in the closed down market, kicking up papers with his worn out shoes? In his eyes you see no pride, and held loosely by his side yesterday's paper telling yesterday's news. So how can you tell me you're lonely and say for you that the sun don't shine? Let me take you by the hand and lead you through the streets of London. I'll show you something to make you change your mind. Have you seen the old gal who walks the streets of London? Dirt in her hair and her clothes in rags. She's no time for talking, she just keeps right on walking, carrying her home in 2 big shopping bags. So how can you tell me you're lonely and say for you that the sun don't shine? Let me take you by the hand and lead you through the streets of London. I'll show you something to make you change your mind. In the all-night cafe at 11:15, same old man sitting there on his own, looking at the world over the rim of his teacup. Each tea lasts an hour and he goes home alone. So how can you tell me you're lonely and say for you that the sun don't shine? Let me take you by the hand and lead you through the streets of London. I'll show you something to make you change your mind. Have you seen the old man outside the Seaman's Mission? Memory fading with the metal ribbon that he wears. In our winter city, the rain cries a little pity for one more forgotten hero and a world that doesn't care. So how can you tell me you're lonely and say for you that the sun don't shine? Let me take you by the hand and lead you through the streets of London. I'll show you something to make you change your mind. Streets of London, Dec. My courtesy of me. Now, what did you think of that? What did you think of that? Let me see. Let me see. Stop share. There we are. Look at that applause. Look at that applause. Keep it going. Keep it going. Just put it on the gallery. That's lovely. Look at that. That's incredible. And Linda, oh, she is applauding now. That's good. That's good. Everybody's applauding. And I think Twyla might be. I'm sure that's Twyla on the Samsung. She's coming to me. She's at a party in Las Vegas, and she's coming to me from there. Well, that's lovely. John, your thoughts? I always ask John his thoughts.
That's a beautifully crafted piece of music.
Yeah. We converse a lot, John, about the technical end of making this stuff, because John's really into the technical end, and I am as well, obviously. And I've just put a new studio desk in, a mixing desk in, and I've been telling John about the complexities of it, and the latest stuff I've done, including the one today to end the show, was done on this new desk. But Lynn, what about the birthdays? Tell us all about the birthdays, Lynn. Are there any birthdays today? I hope there are.
Well, we haven't got any from our gang.
Oh no! Oh no!
There's a member of your family with a birthday next week.
Who's that now?
Con's daughter Carol.
Oh really?
They're going to go out.
Oh, so we do it for Carol. So we do it for Carol, yeah?
For whoever you want.
So I do it for whoever I want.
No.
Okay. Well, listen. This is an Irish cake, actually. It was made yesterday in Fermoy, which is up near the coast, up in the north of Ireland. It's Fermoy. So happy birthday to you, Carol. Happy birthday to you, Carol. Happy birthday, dear Carol. Happy birthday to you. And who should we get?
Adrienne, would you like to do the blowing? Now, all you have to do, oh yeah, she would like to do the blowing. Now, this is a magic trick that we do, because you blow and it goes, all you do is 1, 2, 3 and blow. And then it magically comes all the way up to the satellites, down from the satellites, into my computer, and comes, I'm being heckled here, and comes out. So, in your own time, Adrian, you just say 1, 2, 3, blow.
1, 2, 3, blow.
That was the worst one you've ever.
Yeah.
You were on the screen all the time.
Good.
But it was fun.
Hello, everybody.
It was a bit of fun. And my Sandy, I'd have to tell you, is making. I don't. We're very private people. Con and I were always very private people. But Sandy has been desperately ill. People may have guessed that. I don't know. But you have put on 10 pounds weight, haven't you? In the past 5 weeks.
Lost 3 stone.
You lost 3 stone. That's right. She was 6 stone 2 pounds, and that is shocking. That is shocking. I mean, I thought I was going to lose her, didn't I? Yes. I really did. And now here you are, back, annoying me, heckling me, and giving me a hard time. Well, I love her to bits. As I always say, I met her, loved her, married her, and that was what, 54
years.
54 years, 55 next year. That's amazing. 54 in a couple of days' time, October the 5th. That's it. Isn't that amazing? 55 years married next year. And I didn't deserve a sentence like that, did I?
I didn't.
You didn't. Well, we've had fun, haven't we? We've had fun.
Oh, we have.
We've had a lot of fun, and that was good. So, what can I talk about now? I've got it all written down here. That's the streets of London, the birthdays. We didn't have any birthdays. And the next one I'm going to play for you is this one. Now, this actually was Con's favourite song. If ever anybody asked me, he'd never say this actually, but he said it to me. And he said it's the song that he enjoyed singing the most. I don't know why. Maybe it was because of the lyrics. He could really get into the lyrics. And when I did this video, I realized that the lyrics are all about the different seasons, the different changes in the seasons. So I reflected that in the video. I never thought of that before. And I've often said to John Leyland, I have no idea where the ideas come from for the videos. But I sit down in front of the computer and they just suddenly appear. And I'm sure nowadays it's Con that's doing that. But there we are. So let's have a little listen and a look at Con at his best. That great man that was my great brother with the greatest voice I've ever worked with. And I think the greatest voice you've ever heard. But let's have a look at this.
If ever I would leave you, it wouldn't be in summer. Seeing you in summer, I never would go. Your hair streaked with sunlight, your lips red as flame, your lips red as flame, your face with a luster that puts gold to shame. But if I'd ever leave you, it couldn't be in autumn. How I'd leave in autumn, I never will know. I've seen how you sparkle. I've seen how you sparkle when fall nips the air. When fall I must be there. And could I leave you running merrily through the snow, or on a wintry evening when you catch the fire's glow? If ever I would leave you, how could it be in springtime, knowing how in spring I'm bewitched by you so? Oh no, not in springtime, summer, winter, or fall. No, never could I leave you at all. No, never could I leave you at
That was good. I enjoyed that. Did you enjoy it? Let's see. Did you enjoy it? Let's see. Did you enjoy it? Let's see. Did you? Oh, you did. And Marjorie, you are going bananas. Marjorie Tim over there in the frozen USA. Is it? Okay. You can stop now. John Hutchinson, what did you think? Your thoughts on that song? Go on.
Oh, my thoughts on that song, Dec. I think I was about 12 years old when I first heard Con singing that song. It was on one of your, probably one of the World of the Bachelors LPs. Or something like that.
Yeah.
And it sent shivers down my spine then. And all these years later, it's still doing the same. Con had the absolutely perfect voice for that song, and the harmonies were just exquisite, and the orchestration as well. Superb.
Oh, thank you very much. Oh, thank you very much. My eyes lit up when you said the orchestration. Thank you very much.
And it was brilliant. That's all I can say.
That was mine. It was all mine, and the harmonies. I love doing harmonies. It's the thrill of my life is doing harmonies. I love writing the harmonies, and I like singing them. And so it's all me sings them all. You probably know that already anyway. But there's normally about 32 voices of me singing those harmonies, which is nobody can believe, really. But strangely enough, that is the way it is today with modern day. When you listen to Lady Gaga and that, it's not unusual now to have 16 of the lead vocal, 16 tracks of the lead vocal. That's the norm nowadays. But the way the modern guys do it, you can duplicate. You put down one track and then you can duplicate it and just put it fractionally out of time, and it sounds like two people singing. And you do that 16 times, it sounds like a mass of people singing. But I have done it a few times like that, but I normally like to record it properly. So I sing one line of the harmony, say the low line, and then I'll sing another line on top of that, do 4 of the low line, and then do four of the next one, the low mids, then the high mids, and then the high. The high mids I love. If you hear nowadays, the stuff I do nowadays, you'll hear an awful lot of that. I can go right up there, no problem, and down there, right down there. I don't know where I get the voice from, but I've got it. I always say I've got a rubbish voice, but it's very good for the Bachelors. So listen, let's get on to a question that I've been asked. I've been asked this question many times, and I've never actually answered it at all. tell us about your best friends in the 60s. I bet you've got loads of stories. And who were your best friends in the 60s? Well, for a start, I'd have to say, and this has been very honest and very blunt, and you may not like me saying this, but I'm not a friends person. I've always said, if you want a friend, get a dog. And the other thing I say, and it's not being sexist in any way, is ladies tend to need and want friends. Men, I don't know. I've never been a going down the pub with the lads person, so I've never really needed friends. But I've a huge amount of acquaintances, and I've loads of people I'm very fond of in the music industry. But I wouldn't say they're people that I'd ring up and say, listen, I've got a terrible problem, I've got cancer. You know, that sort of friend. And the other one I've heard said, which I use in some of my speeches actually, a friend is a person that if you were in Nicaragua and you were falsely imprisoned for drugs, who would you ring? One phone call, who would you ring? And a person who wouldn't just say, oh, that's bad news, Dec, call me when you come out and we'll have lunch. No. The friend is a person who, how long would he spend to get you out of the prison? All the time it took. How much would he spend? All the money it took. And how long would it take? Forever, forever. But there we are. So listen, right from the start in the 60s, you know, here's a strange one. You won't believe this. And you'll laugh when I tell you this. Brian Epstein was a great pal of mine. And we used to knock around together all the time, because the truth of the matter was, and he told me this, he said he didn't like the company of the Beatles. He was a very upmarket person, very well educated, very beautifully dressed. That's the only thing you could say. He was immaculately dressed, you know, with a polished face and slicked hair. He looked incredible. He looked better than the Beatles. So Brian Epstein, Springfields, seemed to be mixed up with the Springfields an awful lot. When we did our very first summer season, well before the Bachelors, in Butlins and Mosney, they came over doing a PA tour, a public appearance tour. They were probably promoting a record. And I got friendly with them then. And then later on, Sandy, independently, seemed to do shows with them all the time, or one or two of them, and got very, very friendly with them, and got up to all the pranks with them. You know, they loved booking themselves into a hotel, and they'd make sure there was a big lot of stairs with a big chamber in the middle, you know, that sort of a deal. So you went round and round and round and round down to the end, and they'd always find one of them, and they'd buy an old television set, and they'd bring the television set right up to the top, and they'd put the recorder on, and they'd drop it over the side, and they'd go, ah, and record it all the way down, and the crash at the end. That's what they got off on. But well, after that, I used to meet Dusty an awful lot. There was it's still there actually, Newport Pagnell, the services on the M1. That was the very first motorway services. And any night of the week, you could go there and you would see all the great names, because Birmingham was a huge centre of entertainment, because it was a distance from London, but it wasn't that great a distance. So all the marvellous entertainment. And I used to bump into the Bee Gees there, all those sort of people. It was crazy. So that was it. Mike Hurst, who then, he replaced Tom Springfield in the Springfield. He became a great friend of ours, and John will know this. He produced some records with us, some of our stuff. He sold me his Gibson guitar, Martin guitar, the Gibson banjo, and it was great. And then, of course, if you want a bit of scandal, Twinkle was my girlfriend for a number of years. Oh, Lynn Ripley, I could write a book. In fact, somebody should write a book about that family, the Ripley family. It could be the greatest book ever in history. Who else was there? Clem Catini with the Tornadoes. Clem became a great friend of mine right through the years, and he played drums on 42 #1 records. Yeah, 42 #1 records. And he played drums on an awful lot of our stuff. Bobby Goldsborough, you know, and Darling, I Love You. Met him at the San Remo Festival, became a good friend, as did Neil Diamond, strange enough, Neil Diamond. But the two of them were in a terrible state at that time. They couldn't have a hit, they were crying in their beer, and we used to sing every night in the hotel, the Grand Hotel Del Mare in Bordighera. And we used to sit up all night long singing Barbershop Quartet. Can you believe that? Neil Diamond, Con, Bobby Goldsborough, and myself, and that was it. But lately, great friends of mine these days, Nico McBrain, Iron Maiden, Chas McDevitt, who wrote Freight Train, going so fast, very, very old now, and a dear friend. Brian May, of course, is still a great, great friend of mine, and he thinks I'm the greatest guitar player in Britain, and I think he's the greatest guitar player. We always have a laugh about that. Another guitar player, Gordon Giltrap, great, great friend of mine. I call him all the time, and for any situations about guitars, I always ring Gordon. Rick Wakeman, you know Rick Wakeman, this is all because of the Grand Order Water Rats, which we joined. Con and I were taken in there in 1965, an awful long time ago. So it's Rick Wakeman. Mike Batt is another one you'll know. John Lodge, the Moody Blues, great, great friend. Played golf a lot together. Lovely. So they're the main people. But here's a thing that's happened in the past couple of weeks that you won't believe. Who's another big friend of mine, because he's been there all the years through the Grand Order Water Rats, King Charles III. So King Charles III is a fellow water rat, and there you are. So he is a brother of mine and a friend. But there we are. Isn't that nice? It's coming up to the end now, and here's a song that I really enjoyed doing, because Lynn requested it, John requested it, and I really enjoyed doing this. And this is what I called, it was John Leyland coined the phrase, really, the new era. This is the new era, I hope, of the Bachelors, which will be very, very successful and popular.
There's a ship lies rigged and waiting in the harbor. Tomorrow for old England she sails, far away from your land of endless sunshine, to my land full of rainy skies and gales. And I shall be aboard that ship tomorrow, though my heart is full of tears at this farewell. For you are beautiful, and I've loved you dearly, more dearly than the spoken word can tell. I see the foreign flag raising, their guns on fire as we sail into hell. I have no fear of death, brings no sorrow. But how bitter will be this last farewell. For you are beautiful, and I've loved you dearly, more dearly than the spoken word can tell. For you are beautiful, and I've loved you dearly, more dearly than the spoken word can tell. Though death and darkness gather all about me, and my ship be torn apart upon the seas, I shall smell again the fragrance of these islands, and the heaving waves that brought me once to thee. And should I return safe home again to England, I shall watch the English mist roll through the dale. For you are beautiful, and I've loved you dearly, more dearly than the spoken word can tell. For you are beautiful, and I have loved you dearly, more dearly than the spoken word can tell. The Last Farewell, Dec Clusky. Entire copyright Dec Clusky, courtesy of Dec Clusky. Aha. I wonder what you thought of that. I wonder what you thought of that. I wonder what you thought of that. Let's see. Ah, look at that. Amazing, amazing. Does that count as a standing ovation? Every single one. Maureen's going mad. And Linda, Margaret Taylor's going berserk there. Oh, that's terrific. And Kathy and Linda and Graham, thank you very much. And Carol, look at Carol over there. And Adrienne, that's lovely. And Marjorie Tim. Thank you very much, folks. That was lovely. I enjoyed doing that. Lynn, was that up to your expectations? You asked me to do it after all.
Did I? I remember requesting the Carpenters, but that was lovely.
That was lovely. It was
Yes.
John. John, you requested it as well. John Leyland. What did you think of that, John?
Well, I'm a big fan of Roger Whittaker.
Oh, no!
Right? So, but you know that.
No, I didn't know that, because he's one of those people like George Hamilton IV I could never take to.
No.
I could never take to Roger Whittaker because
I
those sort
remember
of...
having a conversation with you about that many years ago.
Yeah,
But
may I just say, just quickly, but I could never understand people singing those sort of songs dressed in a suit.
Mm-hmm. But much as I love the original, it benefits from being stripped right back.
Yeah.
And as I said to you last week, when I got the audio track, what was nearly a week ago now, the guitar is an earworm. It gets into your head and it's there all the time. And what you've done is create a magnificent hook for the track. And that's really very important, I think, for any song to have a hook. So great job.
Oh, that's lovely. Thank you very much, John, for that. thank you so much for being so kind to me. I appreciate it. And so kind to Con, who's sitting beside me. He genuinely is sitting beside me. Thank you very much. The mics will be open, so you can continue on chatting. And I should have the replay ready for you tomorrow. I hope you enjoyed it. And as I say again, thank you for being so kind to this Irishman. Goodbye from me. Bye.
For you are